Welcome to this week's Renaissance Man podcast and column. Today, I am joined by one of the most iconic entertainers, personalities, figures, artists to ever grace the face of this earth.
Oh, my heavens.
Dionne Warwick is a queen, royalty. I love you very much and thank you for all of your contributions and for joining me today.
Jalen, well, first of all, I thought they said, who are you talking about? It's my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
And as I mentioned, you've had a legendary career. Tell us the story of how you actually started in the music industry.
Well, I've been singing all my life. I come from a singing family of gospel singers. So music has always been ingrained in me. Insofar as my recording and professional career, that started by doing background work and demonstration records in New York City. And that led to a recording contract with Scepter Records. It's almost 59 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it seems that this industry just doesn't want to let me go, which I'm thrilled about. They're still excited about anything I record, and as I am. And along the way, I'm doing some things that I never thought I would ever think about doing, with the social media stuff that I'm doing now, and meeting some new friends and young friends who are, they seem to be enjoying me as I'm enjoying them. So there it is.
Absolutely. What qualities or traits do you have or others like yourself have to make it in the industry at that time when you started your career?
Well, we were all individuals. We each had our own sound, our own way of presenting ourselves on stage, and also a major amount of camaraderie. We enjoyed each other, we supported each other, and that kind of distinguished everybody from each other. Gladys Knight, nobody sounds like her or looks like her or acts like her. Patti LaBelle, the same thing. And I fortunately was fit into that particular genre as well. Nobody does what I do. I'm the only one doing what I do.
So when coming up with the theme for this episode, I decided to call it "In a World Full of Trends, Remain Classic." In your words, define classic and what's allowed you to remain classic.
Definition of classic. Everlasting. I think that would be kind of apropos for that word. Something that never, ever goes out of style. Something that remains true to what it is. Doesn't decide that, okay, I'm going to leave this for a minute and go to that. And instead of doing what you do. That's my mantra. I like me, So I find no reason to want to be like anybody other than me. And I was told that at a very early age, you can't be anybody but yourself. And I enjoy being myself. So I guess if we have to define or give a definition or what I think a classic is, I think that would be it. Be whatever it is that you are always.
Well said. And you've always been a lady with style and grace, especially on the red carpet. What are some of your favorite designers on some of those legendary award nights? And what was your process in getting ready for the big events?
Oh, wow. That I have had the pleasure of wearing many of our iconic designers. And to name just one or two of them wouldn't be fair to the rest of them, I don't think. I will, however, say that the majority of the ones that I wore from the very beginning, there was a young man named Michael Travis who designed gowns specifically for me. So the majority of the gowns that you saw in the very beginning of my award, being on the award shows, were gowns that he made for me.
You recently announced that your biopic with Teyana Taylor will soon be in the works, and I'm so excited. She's so amazing and so talented. Why is it important to bring your story to the big screen?
This is a bio series. It's not the biopic. The biopic and the series that Dionne will be in are two different things. My biopic, we're still gathering funds to get this thing done, but that will be starring LaToya Luckett. She will be portraying me in my earlier years, yes. And Teyana will be doing the series that we're putting together based upon my music and my travels through my career. Teyana is brilliant, and I'm so pleased that she said yes, she wanted to be a part of this, and she will not only be portraying me, but she'll also be in the director's seat. She's a part of the writing of the scripts for each of the series parts. So, I'm truly blessed about this. She is absolutely magnificent. We've had several telephone calls, and she's funny as all get out. She loves to laugh. And that made me feel good because that's something I love to do too. As you well know, I love laughing.
There was a period in time that almost seemed suspended, and that was when Barack Obama got inaugurated. I was in DC at the time. I was fortunate enough to be able to attend one of your events. How important for you and our country and our people was it to see Barack Obama become president?
It's absolute. First of all, it was magic that happened, but it's historic that we finally realized, first of all, that a Black man or woman are human beings, have the absolute right to be anything they want to be. And fortunately, Barack decided he wanted to be president. And we, along with him, decided that that's what he should be. And it was just an amazing time in our lives that we should all revere. The fact that we were capable and able to bring that to fruition, to bring a Black man into that White House, a house that we as Black people built, basically. Now we have the right people living in it.
Absolutely. And a couple of other things before I let you get out of here. And I appreciate you taking the time. As someone, as you mentioned, has been in the industry for decades, you've also seen this country change and or stay the same. How have you responded to a different America when you were growing up, to see some of the things that are still currently happening? The George Floyd murder, Breonna Taylor just had a 1 year of when she was brutally killed by police officers. The royal family, Meghan Markle and the Prince are now living in America. Just give me a snapshot of what you know about this country when you were growing up and what you see now, the comparisons and the differences.
I'll tell you, in my growing years, I lived on a block in East Orange, New Jersey, that I describe on every occasion, given the opportunity, as a street that was virtually the United Nations. It was every race, color, creed, and religion. And we walked to school together. We played together. We had sleepovers together. We had people that put their feet under my mother's dinner table, and I put my feet under their mother's dinner table. So all of the things as I grew older that were taking place were things that I never even dreamed possible because I didn't live in that environment. And as it turns out, one second, can you turn that off for me? Thank you. As it turns out, as I grew older and things began to get crazier, I lived through the terrible times that Los Angeles had with the riots, and New York and New Jersey had with the riots. I lived through this madness when I first got on the road of segregation, and didn't understand what that was because I didn't come from that kind of an environment in the beginning. And to now be living it all over again just does not make sense. You know, I never, ever dignified segregation, ever, and I never will. You know, because of the color of my skin, you're going to be crazy. You know, it's like everything else. My grandfather told me once, because I got into a little bit of trouble. I had a big fight with a white girl, and he wanted to know why was I fighting, and I said, well, Grandpa, she called me out of my name. She used that N word, and he said, you know, it's only a word, baby. I said, yeah, I know, but it's a word I don't like. He says, nobody likes it. He said, but next time anyone says that to you that happens to be of a white skin, just look at them square in the face and say, you know what? I just may be your sister. You don't know that, do you? You know, and that's so ironically true. If you would go back into slavery, Black women birthed a lot of white babies, a lot of them. So, you know, I am just hopeful that our babies, our youngsters, who seem to be, has a grip on what's going on today and has the desire to change it, that they will make all the right moves for us, you know, and hopefully we've been leading them in that right direction. And that's all we can do is hope. That's all we can do.
Well, your voice has been unparalleled, and your wisdom is outstanding. And you've seen many artists and entertainers come and go. And so many people that look like us want to be in entertainment, want to be athletes.
Yeah.
Because they see that as our way out. What advice can you give today's up and coming artist?
Well, you know, there are other sides of the arts, you know, as opposed to standing in front of that microphone. You can be up in that booth with those lights. You can be on the side of the stage with the sound. You can be in the backstage with preparations for the act to be a part of the entertainment industry. Entertainment industry is a very wide spectrum, and that it goes for the sports as well. You can become managers, you can become agents, you become, I'm looking at football now, we got some Black referees, ladies, you know, which is very encouraging. So, you know, there's so many areas of the entertainment industry that I think bears looking into, as opposed to always wanting to be in front of the microphone. I would love to be behind the scenes. I really would. You know, there are moments when it just becomes so overbearing that, you know, you say, well, let me run the lights today, you know. But, but you know, I think that to look beyond the quote unquote, I want to be a star. You know, a young man told me many, many years ago, his name was Ronnie Evans was his name. And he was the road manager for the Shirelles. That's how long back it goes. That he said to me, he says, you never want to be a star. I said, oh, really? He said, no, stars fall. You want to be the moon. Never forgot that. So if that means anything at all, and if anyone else hears it, never feel that's all you want to be as a star. You want to be the moon. And that moon reaches all areas of our earth. So it's not just one thing, it's many things.
Yes, absolutely. And extremely profound. And I definitely appreciate you taking your time again. I like to do a couple rapid fire questions before I let
Mhm.
you go, if that's okay.
Sure. Okay.
Favorite place in the world to perform?
Oh, wow. Oh, there's so many. Oh,
Yes. Yes. Your
what?
favorite place. When you went there, it's like, I just can't wait to go back. The crowd, the food.
It's golly, I can't do that. I can't. I've
Name
been
a
to,
couple.
I've been to, oh, okay, a couple.
Yes,
Um,
ma'am.
Anywhere in Europe. It doesn't really matter what country in Europe. Um, Brazil, absolutely. France, um, my goodness, and even the
Mm.
Asian Rim. Uh, the world has been so very good to me. It's very difficult to say just a couple of places.
Oh, that's very well said. And a lot of people that seen you then and seen you now wanted me to ask you this question.
Mhm.
Most important step in your morning routine.
Oh, waking up.
That's
that's
very well
that's the
said.
that's the
That's
blessing, honey. Thank you, God, for waking me up.
very well said. How about this, since you've done such an amazing job and a terrific follow on social media? Who is your favorite person to follow on Twitter?
I don't have a favorite person to follow. I don't. I'm enjoying the fact that so many are following me. I'm taking the opportunity to be able to talk to our youngsters, which is wonderful. I'm having such a good time. And they're asking questions of importance that they feel are important. And I'm trying to give them answers that I feel will satisfy them. And they seem to be okay with everything I'm doing. So they're having a lot of fun with me because I'm having fun with them. I love to laugh, like you know.
Absolutely. And my late mother, you not only reminded our family of her, the way you look, your style, your elegance, your grace, the way that you wear your hair.
Mhm.
And I used to go to the bar a lot with her when I was young, and many of your records were playing. So,
Yeah.
as a native Detroiter, and you as somebody that's again been around the world and every place in the United States, how about your favorite place to party?
Home. I party at my house, and I do. And I invite my friends to party with me at my home. So that's my favorite place to party.
What about back in the day when y'all used to be on the road?
Oh, well, no, when I'm on the road, I don't party because I know what this thing here called vocal cords can take just so much of. So partying was not part of my agenda on the road. But you know, when I am at ease and not working or doing anything of that nature, I'll go to a club and I'll support one of my friends who are in the industry.
Mhm.
It's just innate that yeah, I'll go out every now and then, but most of the time I'm at home. I'm a homebody.
How about someone that's an artist today that you are a fan of?
Oh wow, there's so many of them. Um, I since my activities on social media, I've gotten to know quite a few of the youngsters. So I'm slowly becoming very much aware of them and their talents. So I'm not going to choose just one or two.
Very well said. And last but not least, and again, you're a queen, you're a royalty, you're iconic. I'm so very humbled that you joined me today. It means everything. But before I let you leave, I must ask you this final question. Please give me an artist you wish you had the chance to collaborate with.
Oh, that's easy. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Yep.
Mm,
And that's going to happen before it's all over. That is definitely going to happen.
wow. That would be iconic and legendary. I appreciate you joining me, Dionne Warwick. I'm going to also write a column about this podcast in the New York Post. and I'll
Okay.
send you a framed copy of it to show a
Oh,
small sense of gratitude. Thank you very much.
my pleasure, Jaden. You take good care of yourself. Yes.